can have that money flowing in and out, but is it serving you for what you want to do? No, money's not about really serving you. What is it? When you've got that, sometimes it stops you. So, well, I've got all the money, got that part of my life done, but there's another part missing. I'm not moving forward. So it's just a belief. Well, apparently, if I've got money, I'm meant to be happy. And then we're sort of something. Well, what's next? You know, what's our next step in our life? Where's the internal happiness? Because that's meant to apparently solve. But yeah, and money's flowing in and out. That means you've got an alignment with money there. But if the alignment's in your values, where it's not serving you in a way that can create abundance in your whole life, and your relationship, and your career, and your a new activity, or just something you really want to do, health, it can just stagnate you. So like you get that, and then you come back each time. It's looking better, it's looking great, and then, oh no, maybe not. Pull you back. Jordan, what came up for you?
My parents did give me pocket money every now and then. Although, you know, I was either frugal or just splurge it all. And, you know, came to mid-teens, you know, barely getting pocket money, get told to get a job. So I kind of just like, you know, kind of just scrooged around and, you know, make sure I hold on to that last dollar. And especially if, like, you know, having a weekend job at a stadium still bartending, like, you know, I'll hold on to it. And that could be like my lunch money for the week or something. And so until like I left high school and got a weekly job just doing cleaning in the mornings, that, like, you know, started being a bit frugal with my money and holding on to it. And it was more the self-independence. Like, I hate being dependent on people for money unless I work for it. And, you know, it's always that provider mentality of, like, having to provide myself into others and not receive anything back, in a way. It's like like I felt like I was blocking my own my own abundance towards myself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So here is, you can be stuck in your own beliefs and patterns. So based on all of those questions, and there's all those questions, there's every answer is correct. Well, you do, like, if we go back to that, sorry, very quickly there, do you have a budget for holidays? If you don't, it's something that it's time to do. It doesn't matter if and if we say we can't afford it, there's a big money block there. It's very empowering to have a bank account just for holidays, whether you put $50 or whatever, whether you've got abundant money or not. It's just by doing that, going, this is our holiday, and you just go with that money there. It's sort of like this sense of freedom. So it's all mindset of how do we feel when we have that, rather than go, oh, I've got plenty of money to go, that we'll just go on holiday. And then you go, oh, do I want to spend this or this on the holiday? How much do I want to spend on it? And you sort of might question a few things in that. Or, but you've got this account, and it just is it's a sense of feeling of going, that's my holiday money, we're just cruising. We're just going to go and have a really good time.
And the thing is that it doesn't cost you to have a bank account these days. You can just have it there.
Yeah. So money grows on trees is all about having lots of branches. Sort of like the river flowing with the branches as well. So, and do you always buy the cheapest thing? Do you always get the cheapest trade? Those answers, it doesn't matter if you're a yes or no with any of those answers, because they're all good. I mean, a yes is absolutely fine. It's about what your thought pattern is when you do that.
Yeah.
Does it flow? When you do a trade, does everything go perfectly all the way? Or do things actually happen? Do you start noticing that things happen all the time? There's a delay, there's a bit of an argument, there's a bit of stress. That energy, or does it work? And again, we'll talk more about that later. And you always buy the cheapest thing. I mean, I'm a yes for those two down there, within reason now. I've changed completely with it, and I've got a different flow and a different approach to it to what I used to, because I had that tight thing with money, because I got brought up with mummy. That's the English in me, mummy. So when mum, she went from depression and lost that money, and we got, save. And I remember when I was growing up as a teenager, not ever buying a drink of alcohol or orange juice or anything when we used to go out during the week. It was only water, because I needed to save my money. I remember missing going to concerts because I needed to save my money, and missing certain things. And I see one of my daughters who very, very much like me, and I say, don't miss out on things, because money will flow if you have the right energy and the right mindset. You don't have to be so tight on it. Tight affects our health, tightness, and wanting the cheapest or like even the best. We want the best at this price, we want the best of everything. That whole energy, if we just flow with, oh, I want to have I really want top quality that's really nice, but it's like going, I'm only going to be happy if I've got the best, or I'm only happy if I got the cheapest. Doesn't matter which way you're going, it's the energy that goes with it, okay? It's how you're feeling with it. And so yeah, I used to be those, but now I've realised, for my example with the cheapest trade, is pay monkeys, you get peanuts sometimes. And sometimes they haven't got the right energy. They're doing a job cheap, and their whole energy with doing it cheap is like, I'm not getting paid as much as that person down the road there, so I'm actually going to cut a few corners here and there, and I'm not going to do an extra. Or they do all extra, and you've actually got a tradesman there who's absolutely burnt out, absolutely exhausted, and other things happen, that little mistakes here and there. So I realise that now I go into the middle. I sit in the middle going, these people work really hard for their money. I honour that now. I honour money as energy. I honour time as being very precious and important in all of their lives. So I value their time now. Like a lot of people don't value other people's time. So my belief system around that has completely changed. So my energy changed. So when I have trades now, I very much sit with, do I connect with them? Does it feel right for me? And if they're cheapest by a lot of money, is it still right, or is something going to go wrong? Am I doing it for the right reasons? I ask lots of questions now. I really sit with my intuition now when I'm doing these, because I know it came from an old belief, and I know that old belief that sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot with it. So I was stuck in my old beliefs, and as much as I've had a great life, I didn't even realise I had them till the last few years. So what happened for me, and does money control you? Take responsibility of your thoughts. So the wake-up day for me was I say a few years ago, it was 5 or 10 years ago, and I remember talking to my brother about our upbringing, and saying, oh, it's really interesting, all the girls, all my friends at primary school say to me, oh, you're always the rich Gallaghers. And I used to think of them going, no, we weren't rich. And they say, yes, you got the first colour TV, you always had the flashiest car, and you also, and you'd always did overseas trips. And I went, that doesn't mean we're rich. How daft was I? That doesn't mean, from everyone else that got none of that, how did it make, so I didn't even know what rich was. Because my mother always said we didn't have a lot of money. But she was very smart, she was very savvy, she was very businesslike, so we got all these things. But we also didn't get a lot of other things, like don't get new pyjamas even though they're too short, things like that. Always got second hand, or mum would go to the shops and always buy the cheapest this and the cheapest that. And it's, so I got brought up with all that. So I didn't realise that I actually have had money in my life. Always had money in my life. Until my brother told me. He said, remember Dad gave us money in the shop all those years. You've always had savings. You had that home ownership account. You bought a house when you got back from England when you were 24. You've always had money. And I didn't realise it till for about 5 or 6 years ago. And I have always had money. And quite a lot of money. But I didn't. So what did that do for me? It made me, I was working. I have burnt out 3 times, major burnt out 3 times, been exhausted, been shattered, because it's like I didn't know how much was a mask. Because subconsciously, not consciously, you're not going around people saying I don't have enough money, but I used to say things, I can't afford it, I don't have enough money to do this, but not, so I did say it like that, not even realising that that was actually causing me to keep working harder and harder, to have that need for more money, to have more things. I've got a beautiful house here. I remember being on $200,000 a year when we were both working, when the kids were really little, thinking we didn't have enough money. It was just a belief. I was stuck in that old belief pattern, so I kept working harder and harder and harder. Business, more and more and more, working in the business, going, and that's what society says. That's what we do. So very stuck until I realised basically NLP. And when I really did NLP, I remember the lady saying to me, oh Jane, come do NLP, it'll be really good for you, changes beliefs, removes triggers and negative emotions, it will help you with whatever you do in your life, your family and your relationship with your kids, as well as your business and whatever you want to do in life. And I went, oh, I already know NLP. Anyway, she encouraged me because Tom had theory of hypnosis, and I thought stage show hypnosis, not really keen on that, but she goes, oh no, it's all self-hypnosis. So when I decided to do it, it was a really like, oh yeah, but don't need it, but I did it, and that was the life changing, and that's realised that, my God, my beliefs are up the wop, not just with money, with lots of things. Hence I was working harder and harder all the time. Okay, so what purpose are you here today for? Do you know what your purpose is? Are you here today, and what your purpose is to have money in your life? So write that down. What is your purpose to be here today? And what is your purpose to have money in your life? Do you know your purpose? Speaker here, so you don't have to walk away.